Test, test, test. Do I have sound this time? I should have sound this time. Here we go. Is there sound now? Sound check 1 2 1 2. When I'm syncing audio at the beginning of the video, I go sync 1 2 3, sync 1 2 3. So then I can like edit or all my clips together. Sorry about that. I probably could have figured out how to turn it back on somewhere in that chat, but it was like it would have took me longer than just to restart the whole thing. So the audio was still hooked up probably to my headphones. I edit in headphones just because it's way easier to block out all of the sound and stuff. So it was probably hooked up to that still. So yeah, it was just same. I was going on a hardcore editing rampage here the last 2 days. I'm getting a little stir crazy from staring at the computer monitor, but myself and Adam did a really fun trip, 2 days where we slept in the truck, which I'm working on now. I got a 1 versus 1 versus 1 video coming out tomorrow, which the members have already seen. And yeah, but it's been on the water, a pile. Water, editing room, water, editing room, back and forth. Good morning. Is it morning? It's the evening. Here it is. What's going on? The 1 versus 1 was 1 versus epic. Yeah, it was a pretty good one. So that anybody that has, well, there'll be lots of people. Most people haven't seen that video yet. That's one perks of like the members. You get an early access to the video if I happen to have it finished in time. I've been trying for like 2 videos a week, Sundays and Wednesdays. I've been putting out videos. The last one I somehow put it out a day earlier though. I think I just wanted to see how it would go. And it was so Sundays and Wednesdays when I put them out, but if I have videos in queue ready, I just fire them out to the members and they see them early. So how do you become a member? There should be a join button somewhere. Look for the join button. Should be a join button. How's the ice fishing season, Clayton? We tried Red River and Selkirk Sunday, didn't get anything. I haven't been out there. Season's been good, to be honest with you. I was in a little bit of a slump for bigger walleye. That's changed recently, though, for sure, which you'll start seeing some videos coming up. I was catching a pile of fish, just nothing big yet. And I still haven't caught anything giant, but I've caught some big ones, though, for sure. And or later this week, I'm going to probably be going winter camping for, I think, 3 days, 2 nights. I'm still tossing around locations where I want to go, though. I literally change my mind every 10 minutes. I'm like, I'm going to go here, then I'm going to go here, then I go there. It's been all over the place. So, but the weather looks really, really nice for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So that's why we're going to go fishing. The last 2 days have been a little bit windier where I am. So I've been editing. Hutsy, $13.99 super chat. Thank you. Clayton, my man. Love everything you do for us, both you and the worst fisherman, Jay. Sitting here in Ontario, Lake Simcoe with 0-degree weather and no ice in sight. I feel bad for you, dude. We're going to have a shot for you for that one. I feel really bad for you. Got canceled on Lake of the Woods. Probably because there's no ice, I'm guessing. Would be my guess. Yeah. Been really tired. Good evening. Good evening, Clayton. Hello, Ryan Fishing. Cheers to Hutsy. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I guess it's a nickname. Well, oh, I forgot which one this is. This is a home brew from Dennis. It's not supposed to be that strong, is it? Hutsy. Yeah, that's better. What was I saying? Hutsy. Wisconsin no ice. You mentioned ESCO entertains your input on things. If you've given them input on a rod case, like your Otter Pro case, the Otter rod case doesn't cut it compared to the Otter. I haven't. The Otter rod case is still going to like be superior. Otter is able to do roto molded stuff in their factory, whereas Eskimo isn't, right? So Otter has a step up when it comes to like sleighs for their shelters or for pulling sleighs. Like I'm still running my Otter sleighs as well. And for stuff like the rod cases where it's the plastic, the roto molded stuff. So that's kind of, it's really hard for Eskimo to do something like that. But they would listen to me though, right? In that aspect and be like, okay, let's try to figure out something where we can make something a little bit better for a rod case. So I'll have to get one of the rod cases and check it out and look into it and see what you're kind of talking about. So One question: what kind of reel would you recommend for ice fishing trout with 12-pound line? Um, you probably want something with a pretty decent drag. I like the Stratic or the one that's less than the Stratic. I forget the name. Somebody will bring that up now. Carter's been using that a lot though, and he's been really liking it. The diesel reel from Frostbite's pretty good, and the drag is better. I haven't tested it out for any trout though. I wouldn't use the smaller one for Lakers, but they do have one that they're starting to work on for bigger Lakers and stuff too. So we'll try something in that. Just tried little Pelican, little action, no luck. Well, that's no good. What province are you based out of? I'm out of Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Rough guess how many 28 and over walleye you've caught? I'm sure it's less than 100, right? Like 128-inch walleye would be a lot. I've had some years where ice fishing where I caught 10 over 10 pounds. And then like that's like 29, 30 inches or bigger, right? Like even 30 inches or bigger. I don't even know how many 28 are over. Quite a bit. Quite a bit where it's sadly is like Adam and I went fishing. It's like we see a 28 incher and it's a big fish. Don't get me wrong. And Carter's starting to be like this too now where it's like you see it and you're excited because it's a big fish and you measure and like, oh, it's only 28. We don't say, oh, it's only 28. Like we're like, can't believe it's only 28. It's like your mind thinks it's a little bit bigger sometimes, if that makes sense. But yeah, a lot. I've been very, very fortunate for sure. I probably caught more bigger walleye ice fishing than I have open water because I haven't done as much open water fishing for walleye as I have ice fishing. Ice fishing goals, locations, species, PVs, tooth for 23, 24. I really want to go crappie fishing. I haven't done that yet. And this was going to be the year to do it. And then this late ice slowed me down with everything. And I just haven't been able to get out there. So yeah, I will at some point. J204 asks, do you hunt deer and moose as well? I do. I've done a little bit of moose hunting myself, mostly guiding. Deer hunting I've done quite a bit. I just haven't done any deer hunting in the last 2 years. I've just been pushing really hard on the ice fishing side. But now with having the acreage and I have deer in my backyard, I'm going to be getting back into deer hunting again and hopefully some videos. Just ordered my finicky foolers. Can you give me a quick breakdown of your finicky setup, line, rod, reel? On the finicky floors for walleye, I've been running the Drench from Frostbite. That's the 39 medium with the diesel reel from Frostbite. And then for the bigger fish, for pike, I'm running a Mr. Big or a Drama Queen with a 2500 series reel. And then for like the big lake trout, which I don't do a pile of with the finicky fooler, I would probably be using the Slugger with at least a 3000 size reel or bigger. 3000, 4000. Hope that kind of helps. And the walleyes too is about 8-10 pound line, the pike's 20 pound, and the lake trout's 30 pound braid. What's your favorite fish you've caught? My Goliath grouper is probably one of them. I'd say that's probably one of my favorite fish I've ever caught. I'd say the Goliath grouper, definitely. What's the best tip up looking into buying one? If you're looking for a rod and reel tip up, the finicky fooler. And if you're looking for like a regular tip up hand over line, I'd say one of the smoothest ones I've seen out there is the Beaver Dam one. And I have a new one this year with a light on it, which I'm going to probably be doing something with at some point here. I was rigging up an alarm system for everything as well, for the finicky fooler and for the tip ups. And I think I got it figured out. So I saw another question that says, when am I going winter camping again? Sometime this week, I believe I'll be going winter camping. And I'm going to try some fooling around with the new bite alarm system I came up with. My biggest pike through the ice is like 46 and a half. I can't remember. It's been so long. And open water is 47. How do you hook your minnows, your jackknife, jig heads? Some guys are hooking them by that little tiny hook with by the tail. On it, you'll see there, like it's got 2 hooks on it, one tiny one and then the big one. I've been nose hooking it on the big hook a lot. I don't know, that's really the way to do it, but that's kind of the way I've been liking it. I just feel like the jig doesn't move as much. So as you start tail hooking, they move a little bit more, but yeah, that's kind of what I've been nose hooking it right through the big shank for the most part. Hi, Clayton. You make awesome videos. Well, thank you so much, JC Outdoors Adventure. Appreciate it. Vulture Systems has the best long-range alarms on the market. I'll have to look that up. Where do I live on Canada? I'm right on the Saskatchewan-Manitoba border, pretty much. Late to the party, sorry. Eskimo new sponsor or other reason for not using Otter. I seems like I cover this like in every single live chat, and at some point I got to bring this up in a video too and just talk about it. But Eskimo is one of my newer sponsors. One of my newest partners. I like the word partner more than anything. Otter, I had a good relationship with Otter. It's just a better decision with Eskimo going forward for my channel. So that's kind of why I went that way. And it's good stuff. Like, I wouldn't have switched if it wasn't good stuff. I'm very happy with it. Do you know anything about the new Frostbite mystery boxes? Information on the website is very vague. Oh, probably because you can never have enough Frostbite. I have no idea about it. Nobody's told me anything about the mystery box at all. No idea. Show some whitefish some love. I know. I need to do some whitefish fishing. Whitefish is probably one of my weaker species that I've caught a little bit of, but I need to do it. I had so much fun in the game of inches with Adam, like hunting down a whitefish, where it's like I totally need to do that again. It was fun. I'm 8 years old and you're my favorite YouTuber. Well, I appreciate you watching my videos very much. Cindy's yelling at Tigger. Tigger was sleeping beside me and editing literally for the last like 3 hours. At this time, are the walleye shallower or deeper? They're still literally going to be quite shallow, anywhere between 5 to 30 feet, which I know 30 feet doesn't seem shallow because that's the deepest I'll ever fish for them, though, in general, is 30 feet. But they could be anywhere between 5 to 30 feet right now. Mostly they're going to be a little bit shallower, though. I'd say even like that 10, 20 feet is what you'll be looking for a lot of time. It really, really depends on the lake that you're fishing. Whitefish is so tasty smoked. Favorite size dinner bell? I'd say the 3/16. I like the 3/16. I used the 3/8 a lot when I first started, but I like the 3/16. Cindy's annoyed by little Tigger. Yeah, she's wrapping gifts and he's all over the table and stuff. So, have you ever fallen through the ice? No, I have not. And not anything that's like past like my waist, basically. How organized are you? I'm starting to get fairly organized. I am. You can't really tell by that cupboard back there, right there, with all the receipts and the batteries and whatnot charging, but it'll get cleaned up here the next day or two. So, you'll vouch for what? Cindy says I'm pretty organized. I've gotten more and more organized the longer I've done this, and that's how I could like literally like stay on top of things with like the whole filming, coming back, editing. Like, if you're not organized and have like a specific pattern you go through, it's just a giant nightmare. Like, organization has helped me so much to be able to like stay on top of things. Clayton, maybe you should do a Manitoba whitefish here soon. I know, Blake. I know. I might even know a place. Do you think Aquaview spooks walleyes much? It can sometime, but I've seen it go both ways. I think the biggest trick with the Aquaview is you want to get it where it's pointed downwards, not straight down, but like at a 45. That way it's a little bit higher out of the way. And also, I don't like to put it where the walleyes, where they're traveling from, where I think they're traveling from, right? I like to put it the other way. So if I think they're coming from the left to the right, I'm going to put it somewhere over here, or maybe on this side of it, right? Like, I don't like to put it. I don't want them to swim underneath of it, and I don't want them like coming straight up at it necessarily either, as they're trying to eat a lure. So I'm trying to keep it, a little bit to the side. Don't keep it. It's all like, I'm trying to have the words here. I can't get them out how I'm saying it, but if you strategically place it to how you think the fish are traveling, it'll help you. But as soon as you do all that, all of a sudden the fish will completely change and it'll start traveling the other way. But the biggest tip I can give is do the 45-degree angle, not the 90-degree, where it's like your lure's here and the Aquaview's here. Get it up a bit higher so the fish don't focus on that. You want the fish's attention on your lure. Are waxworms a good bait for walleye? I don't know, because I don't use them at all, so I'm not sure. Best advice for lake trout and a fishery with no bait fish, just other trout, maybe bigger baits. How can there be no bait fish at all? So what are they eating? Like, I'm just thinking, if there was no bait fish in that lake at all, how are those lake trout surviving? There's no way they can just eat just lake trout and that's it. They have to have something in there, whether it could be even freshwater shrimp or something like that, right? There's got to be, I guess you did say bait fish, but there's got to be some type of bait that they're eating, right? So sometimes it might be even like downsizing. There's also suckers and rainbows. Yeah, like then you could probably get away with like baits that are a shape like a sucker or a rainbow trout type of thing. Um, Open water for sure, like swim baits. And then through the ice, a tube jig would act just like a sucker or um, a rainbow trout, right? Like you use a tube jig and you pound it off the bottom. That'll be like a sucker, like roaming around in the mud there. So I would say it wouldn't change anything really. Can I get a go blue? Go blue. Go blue. In Yellowstone, Lakers eat the cutthroat trout. Oh, I'm sure. You need to come fish Lake Ohio. Giant pike in the spring. Hey, I like the sounds of that. I like giant trout. Okay, we're having a shot for Evan here. Clayton, any recommendations for a thermal tip up for a 10-inch hole? I just got a new Jiffy Rogue 10-inch. I couldn't resist, even though I wanted the Ion Alpha. The Carter didn't own me in the next video. I'm not spoiling it. Carter didn't own me. Anyways, the finicky fooler, it's exactly 10 inches and it fits perfectly on there. It's like it's exactly 10 inches, I believe. So it's like the lip, sometimes if a fish comes up, it'll get caught, but it seals a 10-inch hole perfectly. I use that a lot and highly, yeah, the finicky fluor hole cover is so good. Cheers to you, Evan. That's my recommendation though. Oh, Fireball. Does an LVS 34 fit in a 6-inch hole? I'm not sure. Be close. When are you going ice fishing next? Maybe Wednesday or Thursday. Maybe tomorrow? No, Thursday. Will a Laker survive from 100 feet of water? Yes, it will, as long as it's burping on its way up. There's another question I wanted to ask or answer. Where was it? Have I ever fished Lake Manitoba? Yes, once or twice I have. Yeah. Oh, biggest bass. I've been largie fishing for a while, but I have an 8.5-pound largemouth bass that myself, Jay, and Mark Tully went on a trip to Falcon Lake on the Mexico-Texas border. And I caught an 8.5 and Mark caught a 9.5. That was one of my favorite trips for sure. That was a blast. Your opinion on the Blue Eddy? I wasn't that impressed with it. I stopped using mine. It just didn't seem to last that long. Maybe I had a smaller version of it, but I wasn't very happy with it. Have you ever done anything so dumb you cut it from a video? I like to put the dumb things in there. But I've ever done anything so dumb where it's like embarrassing. I don't know. I'm sure I have. I have to have. But I even put in like my video when I knocked my camera over, right? Like, you know, I'm sure I have. I'd have to think about that. Of course I have. I had to have. What transducer pole do you use? I use the Arc Lab from Winnipeg. Arc Lab Sports pole. I swear I've not been drinking very long today. That was it's a good pole and I like it because early ice I can like cut it in half too, or not cut it in half, but it has sections. So early ice I can run a half section. Was it Lake of the Prairies 2 days ago from 1 to 5:30 and only one landed? Bunch on the helix, but not much biting. Well, that's no good. I want to know where the hot bite is. I want to know where the hot bite is. I want to go where it's good biting. Speaking of dumb, where's the donkey t-shirts? I know I need a donkey t-shirt so bad. Clay, you and Jay should do a Clay versus Jay battle of the guides at Wollaston. We need to. That would be fun. I like that. Better to pack snow down or clear the ice in a shack. Pack it down. Don't. When I first started ice camping, I'd clear out all my snow, and that was a mistake. The flood water was bad. So if you have a bunch of snow, just put your mats down and just pack it all down, because that snow will, when you put your mats on there, it'll keep it insulated and you won't melt away as fast. It'll If water's coming up the hole when there's snow, it is going to slowly kind of melt that snow away, right? And you're going to end up with flood water. But the longer you can keep it insulated, and if you don't force with your heater down there too, it's going to not melt as fast, basically. So when I first started, I'd clear it all out. I'd clear my whole area out. I'd shovel it out. And now sometimes I'll clear my little fishing area just so I can get the visuals. But it's better to keep all your snow there and then put your mats down. That was a long answer. Did you fish the Red River this year? I did not. Trying to decide on electric auger, wondering if you've had any issues with your ion. No, my ion has been solid. The Alpha, been very, very happy with the Alpha. I'm a graphic designer. You want me to send you some mock-ups for your donkey t-shirts? I'd love to see it for sure. I have one guy that I work with in Winnipeg right now, does a lot of stuff for me, but I always like to see some mock-ups though, for sure. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, send it to me. Is Otter Vortex Pro Resort or Eskimo a better 10? The 850. I haven't spent a lot of time with the 850 yet, so I can't really vouch. I can't vouch for that. But the 850 isn't like the Resort though. The 850 is more the Monster Lodge. The 650 is like the Resort. That's the different styles, right? The 850 is the Monster Lodge, and the 650 is the Resort. They're both great tents. Carter and I used the 650 only once so far this year, and it's been really good. It's been such a nice season. I've done so much fishing outside. Like even the next 3 videos coming up are all outside. Tomorrow's video is outside with me, Adam, and Carter, and the video I'm working on now, which is me and Adam, we're also outside. And then the video after that, where Adam and I did a 1v1, that is also outside. When's the next video coming out? Tomorrow. Any more you versus Jay? Nothing right now, but hopefully at some point. I also fell into my waist on my left leg. Someone we're meeting drilled a test hole before, but it had blown over. No. That's funny. I'm glad you're okay. It's funny that now that you're okay, but oh boy. Did you hear about Upper Red Lake? I heard something about people getting stranded on the lake. Is that what I think you're probably talking about? I heard very, very, like one thing I heard about, that's it. I don't have Facebook right now, so I don't haven't seen anything on like social media at all. So no idea. I don't watch the news either. Hard house or hub? I like a hub because you can be more mobile. That being said, I'd fish in a hard house like a Yeti or an Ice Castle or any of those at any time. But right now I like the hub. I'd love a wheelhouse one day, and maybe I would work it into some videos somehow. But right now it's nice when I can go to places that have wheelhouses and like make some videos doing that. But I move so much. This whole season, I have yet to fish the same spot twice, unless I was there for like 2 days in a row. Adam and I did. But other than that, I have not fished the same spot twice yet. So it's kind of crazy. I've been out like a dozen times, 14 times, and I've not fished the same spot twice yet. What's your favorite color for trolling walleye? I can't tell you that. No. It's all lake dependent. It really is. Really is. But I like a lot of chrome stuff. Blue and chrome, chartreuse. But every lake's so different. It really is. I find there's, better lures for different lakes. Do you think this year you'll go after lake trout again with the poor ice conditions? I'll probably do some lake trout fishing at some point this year. It's all going to depend how much snow we get. With having poor ice right now, if we got a bunch of snow, we'd have troubles, because then we get a pile of slush water because the ice wouldn't be thick enough, that snow would add so much weight, and then it would weigh it down. If we can get a good freeze before the snow comes, then we're going to be fine. So it all depends on how much snow we get. That's kind of basically. Perm Shack went up in flames last weekend at Lake Metagosh. That's no good. Would love to get you on some giant snook and redfish and tarpon here in Florida. I'd love to come down again. I miss tarpon. I've never caught any big snook or big reds. I've caught both, but I've never caught anything big. I've caught some nice big tarpon. But why is your kitchen counter so messy? Because I was going through receipts and batteries and stuff. Leave me alone. I know, it's horrible. That's not the kitchen counter. That's like my editing or my charging area. It's a bunch of receipts and stuff. Cindy's gonna come over here and clean it all off now because it's okay. It's okay. It's all good. He says joking now. He says joking. Just move, leave the guy alone. It's amazing. About to spool up a couple new rods for perch and gills. Recommendation for line: ice braid, pound test. We fish inside and outside. Braid can be a pain outside, but we like the sensitivity. I like fishing braid even outside. You just got to clear it off quite a bit. And for perch and gills, I'm guessing you're going to want to fish like 4 or 6 pound tests for the most part. So I like the Suffix 832 ice braid. I find that like even when it ices up, I can slide my ice down, and yes, it hasn't been too cold yet. So that's been the good thing, is like stuff freezes, but it's not to the point where it's like that frozen. But if your line gets that frozen and you can't reel through your rod, your guides or anything, Cindy, it's okay. Hey, he was joking. It's okay. Oh, give me the hand warmer stuff. So yeah, I'd say 4 or 6 pound braid. Okay, look at this. I ordered these from Amazon. Mr. 30, Adam had one of these the other day. They're little hand warmers. Here, you put in your pocket, turn them on. I got them from Amazon. And you have levels of them. So level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. I'm not using these for hand warmers though. These are going inside my battery boxes as I'm charging, so my GoPros don't die as fast and they take a charge. So now these like are warm, and I'm going to put them in against my battery stuff. This would be great too if you have an electric auger and you want to throw these in your case with your auger batteries. Yeah, battery warmers, and they get warm like quick. And if your hands were cold though, you could throw them in your pocket and warm your hands up. They're slick. Anyways, I just got these from Amazon. One of my newest purchases. I'm so proud of myself. Need you to come to Bay of Quinte. I would like to come to the Bay of Quinte one day. The thing is that we have such good walleye fishing where we are. It's so hard to make that long of a trip. And that guy says, "Oh my God, I feel terrible now." We know you're joking. It's all good.
That's the charging corner.
Yeah, it's a charging corner. What Eskimo flip over you're running this year? I'm running the 2800, and it is massive, but I like that much room for filming. If I was going to fish by myself and no filming, I'd probably run either the 24 or the 26. Excuse me. You ever get her own tackle box yet? No, I haven't yet. But maybe I got her some lures for Christmas.
Yeah, right.
I can tell you what I got Cindy for Christmas. I got her a puppy, a chocolate lab. Ever consider using diesel heater or generator electric? Generator electric would be pretty tough. You need a lot of power. That generator would run like pretty crazy. Diesel, I've thought about it, but I've heard a lot of stories about not keeping the place warm enough. And then I also have to worry about noise. So then I have to run it outside because I don't want it in the shack humming when I'm trying to film. Noise is like, it's just not good on videos, right? Like any type of humming, anything like that, it comes through the audio so bad. So, but I would like a different style of heat. I've been running the Heat Hog though, and it's been pretty good so far too. Thanks for the super chat. And it's all good. The cupboard's good. Propane furnace in my wheelhouse. Yeah, we have a propane. I had a propane in the ice house that I had at one point. Oh, it's a super chat for Cindy. I'll give it to her. Cindy, you got a super chat. For the guy that said you had the messy cupboard, or I had the messy cupboard.
I cleaned it.
$3.99. You can buy coffee tomorrow. You don't want to do this.
What is it?
This one's butterscotch, but you can do some. You want Fireball?
Well, that was Bernie.
Well, they're all birdie.
You can do it. I'll make some jello shots for the next one, okay?
Yeah, we'll do a. How do you deal with condensation ice camping? Don't camp when it's minus 30. That's the biggest thing. I run a fan and then try to air dry out your place during the day as much as you can. If you're inside of your shack is damp, you're going to have bad condensation and stuff later with like freezing, not freezing, but that frost. Like when you're winter camping, if you have a foamy down and you're in there for multiple days, like take your foamy during the day and like lift it up from your cot, because it'll be like all wet and have moisture in there. The biggest thing though, honestly, Samson, is you're never going to get away from it totally because of wet heat. So a diesel heater that's vented outside, or an electric heater, something like that, you could have a better chance of not having condensation and moisture in your tent. So it's hard to get away from. It is. The colder it is, the more moisture you're going to have. What's your go-to Burbot Lake, Clayton? I think Last Mountain's probably one of my favorite Burbot lakes, I'd say, that I have fished. Oh, you know what's actually really good is Athapap. Athapap's got big Burbot in it. I actually like to go up there and just focus on Burbot for a day or two. Maybe I'll do that this year in between my Fish with Clayton trips. There is a Fish with Clayton trip at Baker's this year. There's 2 of them. You can call it Baker's Narrows if you want information on it. But we're having a lake trout weekend, the 3rd weekend in February and the 4th weekend in February. And yeah, I'm going to be fishing in between and filming. And maybe I will do some Burbot fishing. That might be a good idea. More videos with Mr. 30. Yes, there's a video coming out tomorrow with Mr. 30. And then Adam and I did another day, or another 2 days actually, which I'm working on edit now. And Carter, yes, 30 and Carter too. How do you like the E-Hub system? I've been loving it. I've used it quite a bit. Like Adam and I used it when we were camping on the ice the other night, and we just had the phone one up in there, and we were watching hockey as we were chilling out in the tent for the night and having supper. It was perfect. Can the live scope be too far under the ice? It can't in terms of seeing the fish or all that, but it can be, if it's under too far, you do run a risk of getting stuck with your line as you're fighting a fish. I heard it was good, but never focus on the Burbot, always on the trout. Yeah, no, Burbot's really good there. And I'd say even the small lake could even be better than a big lake for Burbot too. Clayton, can you think you can go ice fish on a river? Yeah, you can go ice fishing on a river. It depends where you are right now. Like, that doesn't mean you should run out and go fish on a river right now. Like, you need to know about like the area, right? Or the ice, check the ice conditions, but you can ice fish on a river for sure. Any tips on locating perch this time of year? Perch, I feel like they could be anywhere. Like, I feel like sometimes they're in the shallowest flats, mud flats, and then all of a sudden they can be in like deep areas when you're fishing for walleye in 25 feet and you're catching perch. I like a lot of like shallow mud flats for perch, though, like that 6 to 10 feet where they come up and they feed on insects. Early season, especially later season, when you don't have much oxygen in those areas, like the shallow areas will get less oxygen. I feel like this year, though, with having less ice, we should have a shallower bite for earlier into the year. Oxygen levels are huge. As soon as you get a pile of snow, pile of ice, anything like under like 5-6 feet, you get a lot of less oxygen. You'll still get fish cruising through there. There's just nothing that's like living there almost. Do I sell merch? Yes. Our merch stock is low right now, but if you go to ClaytonChickOutdoors.com, there's some merch on there, but we're pretty low right now on stuff. It's just we haven't restocked anything with the move and stuff, so we will at some point. How do you like your Heat Hog compared to the Big Buddy? I find the Heat Hog to be a little bit more like stable, built better, but that's all I can really say so far. I don't have enough time with it. Clayton, you should go ice fishing with your wife this year on the Lake Winnipeg and sleep over on the ice. We could maybe do that if we went and stayed at like a Yeti or something like that, where we had like a bathroom. That's definitely possible. She could do something like that, I think. Heated blanket and a wheelhouse is a game changer. They draw very little power on a generator. So I used a heated blanket one year with the generator, and I found it to draw quite a bit on the generator. Like when I turned it on, like you could hear the generator like kick up, right? Like it was working a lot harder. So I don't know if maybe I just had a bad blanket or whatever, wasn't using a good one, but I did try that once in a wheelhouse. I'm sure it would work. It would work, winter camping though too, because not that it didn't work, it just drew a lot of power I found on the generator. But you could easily take a generator and a heated blanket camping for sure. Are ATVs with tracks allowed at Baker's Narrows? Yes, they are. Um, a snowmobile is a little bit easier access, but people do go out there with their snow bears, with their side by sides. The only thing I'm going to say is if it starts to get really slushy, you aren't going to want to take an ATV with a track. But if there's no slush out, you're perfectly fine. Clayton, I have a really big idea. You should go fishing with your wife. I think I already mentioned that one. Gatorade or Powerade? 100% Gatorade. There's actually a video, and if somebody could find this video, I'm gonna laugh. It's like a video I filmed at one point where I drank a Powerade, and I literally was like, I will never drink this stuff again. I could not handle it. It was not good at all. I'm like, what is this crap? You're a legend in my household. Must be a really small house then, right? Not small household. Do you plan on doing any more lake trout content? Yes, I do. After Christmas, I'll be doing some more Lakers for sure. I've got a couple trips planned up north right now. Nathan Schick is in the house. What? Nathan Schick. Is that Mike Rudy? That's amazing. Nathan Schick is my cousin. My cousin lives in Arizona right now, I believe. That's amazing. Say there is a reverse game of inches where smallest fish of 6 species is the goal. Who is your partner and why is it Alex Berrick? That's amazing. That's a good one. I like that. Immediately hated the Powerade. Just rewatched that video. Yeah, it was so bad. It was so bad. Cheers to Send It Outdoors. We're having a shot of Fireball for you, my friend. Send It Outdoors. I got a new package coming from him, I believe. Can you do a Cisco video this year? 100%. I need to go do some more Cisco's. Like, especially now with the live imaging, I think it'd be so much fun. 100% Cisco video this year. Definitely. Definitely. Cheers. Another video I want to do this year is we have a local reservoir here that has perch in it. And everybody says like, oh, there's no fish on that lake. It's nothing to catch. I want to snowmobile from my house, go fish this lake and go find some perch. It's a small little reservoir, but I'm going to go crush some perch out there at some point. I just need some snow. There's no snow here at all. Do you have a shot? A shot for us too? Yes. Here. You guys have a cheers and a shot of this right here. Some spice and ginger. Ever use any Euro tackle? I have not. Clayton, is it possible to see rock to sand transitions using live scope? Sand's a pretty hard bottom, so it's not as easy as you would think. It's easy to see rock to mud, or like rock to silt, or sand to silt, but you would see the rocks though. So yes, you could see a rock to sand because you can see the rocks on the live imaging. So yes, you could see a rock to sand bottom. The only thing is you don't know whether what type of, if it's sand for sure, or whether it's like, no, it'd have to be sand. What else would it be if it's like you don't see the rocks? Yeah, you would see it. It wouldn't be as easy as it would seeing like the readout if it's mud or silt. Like mud or silt has the red on the bottom isn't as like dense, isn't as noticeable. So if there's rocks, there would be sand. Yeah, depending, not always. Depending if it's a rock pile that was put there by somebody or whether it's rock pile or if it's a natural lake. I know reservoirs that there's rock piles at the edge of river channels, and this is because there's rock piles on certain reservoirs where you go back 30, 40 years ago when it was farmland. And farmers, when they pick all the rocks from their fields, they take it and they stack it up along a fence line or something like that, and they make a rock pile. So it's not necessarily sand. It could be dirt for the most part too, right? So it's not always sand. But there's like, yeah, like not all rock piles were created by Mother Nature. There's rock piles that were created 40 years ago by farmers who used to farm that land that's now flooded because they basically flooded the reservoir, right, and made a reservoir. So keep that one in mind. Jay Siemens with the cheapest super chat of the night. Surprise, surprise. Headed to Baker's to fish with you. What gear should I bring? I was told a chair and a fishing rod, and that's it. You were? I don't think you really, was that all you were told? You have to have your own transportation for that one as well. So yeah, if that was what you were told, please contact me on Instagram or send me an email, Mike, because I'd like to know who told you that, if that's the case. Jay has kids to feed. That's funny. Clayton, what is your favorite food to eat out on the ice? Fish is probably one of them for sure. And the new boil bags. I've been doing lots with those right now. Um, from Big Smoke Barbecue in Steinbach, Manitoba. He's got these boil bags. And not tomorrow's, yeah, and tomorrow's video I do a catch and cook on the ice, actually. The video coming out on Sunday, I did mac and cheese and burnt ends in as Adam and I are fishing. They come in a bag that's like a sealed, it's vac sealed, it's frozen, all cooked. You get up a pot of boiling water, you throw it in there for 20 minutes, and you have an amazing meal. Like I couldn't believe it. Boil bags are probably my favorites. My favorite thing to do out there right now, I'd say. Quick in that sense. I'd also still like to cook fish, not gonna lie. With the crazy warm weather we've had, what is your opinion on the walleye pattern this winter? I honestly find so far that the walleyes aren't doing anything different from other years. I thought was under the impression that all the walleye fishing would just be behind, and now with like the warm weather, it was going to be so good. I'm finding bites die off already, just like they do on normal Thai sand, dirt, rocks, do a fireball. I just saw Sam's comment. Sorry. I will, Sam. 1 second. Anyways, where was I? I thought all the fishing was going to be behind, and it's literally like the same as every other year. Like bites are starting to die off just as they would on any other year, even though it's so nice. There's not much ice. That or I just can't figure them out and find them. But like there's bites I thought were gonna go on forever and still be good, and this time of year is like those lakes start to shut off, and yeah, just like clockwork, they shut off. It's so weird. I think I literally have to do a shot of fireball for Sam. If you're still watching, Sam, say something because that just made me laugh. Sand or rocks to a fireball. Oh, that is amazing. Cheers to Sam and Jay. Sam and Jay right there. That's so good. Clayton, you trap your own bait. I did some leech trapping at one point, but I really don't do a lot of it anymore. I don't do a lot of fishing with bait. Um, I like to use a lot of artificials for the most part. I'd rather use artificials. That being said, if I have to use a live minnow or a leech, I will, but I'd rather fish artificial baits if I could. I just find it so much more fun. How long do they shut off for? The walleyes? The walleyes will shut off all the way till spring now, basically. Like you get a little bit of they're still going to eat throughout the winter, but their metabolism slows down so much they literally only have to eat like a quarter what they do for the rest of the year. So if a walleye was eating every other day, now he's going to eat every 4 days or every 8 days. It slows down so much. I'm glad you guys are still here, Jay and Sam. I hope Hannon's doing well. I'm coming out there at some point. I have to. I miss you both. Can you explain your live scope setting when you fish walleye on ice, your next video? Yes, I'll do that in my winter camping videos coming up. I'll do a live scope session. I will. You know, if Manitoba is banning live bait, they are 2027. There will be no more leeches and no more live minnows. Could still use night crawlers though. Jay and Clayton in a video together, I'd watch the heck out of that. We'll go to Jay's channel. The last time we fished together was last year for the Baker's Challenge. I think it was the last time we fished together in a video. Go to Jay's channel, and there's a Baker's Narrows Brawl, I think it's called. You'll find it. You'll find it. It was probably released in March, I'm thinking. Clayton uses only 2 techniques, an active jig and a minnow and a dead stick jig and a minnow. That's an old video. You must have been watching some old videos, Evan. That's amazing. Clayton and Jay, who has caught the biggest walleye and pike between the two of you? I think I got Jay. Actually, no, I think Jay has a 48-inch pike. I've got the bigger walleye, I believe. I think Jay is the bigger pike. I think. I've guided the bigger pike though. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. What's your heaviest eye? 13.6 pounds. What's the biggest, most ambitious video idea you have? Good question, and I can't tell you that because then somebody else would do it. Any fish donkey turning this year, Clay? I was trying to put one together in January, and I just couldn't put everything together. I'm going to start doing some online tournaments though at some point. I just gotta figure out the right way to do it. Maybe I start with like a week one to start with, maybe. Any panfish video scheduled? I'm gonna go do some perch fishing on my next camping video. I'm gonna go crush some big perch, hopefully. You ever fish Minnesota because it's close to Canada? I have not. I have no no plans to fish Minnesota either. I've got so many bodies of water that I've never even fished in Saskatchewan or Manitoba. I think I'd like to spend some more time there first. Been watching for years, Clay and Jay. I appreciate that very much, Curtis. It's crazy to say it's years already. Like, it's weird to think that I've been doing this for years. It feels like I just started yesterday sometimes. It's crazy. You got to get a donkey to pull your sleigh. I need a puppy, and I'm gonna name him. If I get a puppy, can I name her Donkey? No. Darn it. Oh, that'd have been so good. Donkey, come here. Donkey here. Oh, you're supposed to have 2 syllables. It's perfect. Donkey. And we can call him Donk. Hey, Donk. Donkey. That's what we're doing.
Well,
Donkey. How can you come up with something better than Donkey? There's no way. I seen a video today where a guy used a goat. A goat? That's amazing. Any tips for catching burbot? Dusk and pound the bottom lots. Yeah. What's the hardest part of your professional YouTube fishing career? Staying mentally focused, because it's so exhausting. It's not so much physically demanding, it's mentally exhausting because you got to be on top of things so much, and your work ethic has to be like your work ethic has to be like here. Like, you have to have a drive and to want to do it. There's like no downtime. So I think that's like the biggest thing is just trying to stay mentally into it for sure. How long does it take to edit and upload a video usually? Usually for every hour of fishing is an hour editing. So Adam and I fished for like 10 hours the other day. I've got about 7 hours into the edit so far. I've got 3 hours left. Usually that's kind of like a rule for every hour of fishing is an hour editing. If it's a slower day of fishing, much easier edit. If it's lots of action, lots of editing, and then you end up taking out lots of fish catching too. Like the video that Adam and I, or the video that I'm editing right now of Adam and I, we caught like 50 walleye, and I deleted so many scenes. I'm trying to keep some of the fish, the smaller fish in there to see we don't catch just like big ones, or the average size is always like 23, 24 inches. We catch some smaller ones, but excuse me, those are the ones that usually go out first are the smaller ones. Do you ever fish without cameras? Very rarely. Very rarely. I told Cindy, Cindy says no. I told Cindy to take her fishing after Christmas. We'll go for a day. And she says, do we have to film? So I think that's probably a no. So yes, if I can stay ahead of the game and have videos in the bank, I'll fish without cameras. Or I went on a video of Jay's last year. It was like I had enough videos where I could take a day and just fish with him. And that was great. I ran a head camera and audio, and that was all I had to worry about. But very rarely do I fish without cameras, it seems like these days. It shows that you put 100% in. Keep it up, my man. Thank you very much, Tim. I appreciate that very much. What structure do you look for most when walleye fishing? It really depends on the time of the year. Right now, I'm fishing a lot of like shallow silt. Right, I say right now as if I've already transitioned over. Early season, I'm fishing a lot of like silty bottoms, muddy bottoms where the whitefish and the ciscos are spawning in. And then I kind of switch over a little bit to transitions where those ciscos and this whitefish are going to move out and start running their transition lines to get to wherever they want to be for the winter. So I'm running, like right now I'm fishing a lot of like rock to sand transitions that are a little bit deeper where there's a drop off close where they're using it as a travel route. I find a lot of fish use sharp edges as travel routes. They just feel a little bit safer, right? Going along it. But there's honestly, every lake is so different when it comes to walleye fishing. That's such like a vague answer I gave, but every lake is so different. Just got back from the ice fishing with my PB pike today, 18 pounds. Amazing. That's awesome. Have you ever dropped camera equipment down a hole? I've not dropped camera equipment down a hole, but my first camera I ever had, a Canon X810, I think it was. I was fishing in a boat, and I had it on a tripod because I didn't have like an easy cam post or anything like that at the time. And I'm not kidding to you. It was sitting on a tripod beside me, and I gave it some gas, and the whole tripod and the camera went right out the back of the boat. I just watched $3,000 fly right out the back of the boat in 25, 30 feet of water. I went back the next day with an underwater camera. I got it back, and I still have the tripod, actually. I still have that tripod. The camera was toast. But I had that happen to me. And that was like when I was first, like, I wasn't even doing YouTube videos and that. It was all like trying to get the equipment to maybe make YouTube videos. It was something I wanted to do. And yeah, that definitely happened. What do you use to keep your underwater camera from rotating? I use the Mopod from Aquaview. Works great. Did you get a new sled this year? No, same sled. The Skidoo Expedition. I love that thing. It's been so good. So same sled, and it now with having an enclosed trailer, that sled stays so clean, so good. I have no reasons to get a new sled anytime soon. I've been liking it a lot. Scissor kicks or dinner bell? I'd have to say dinner bell. Although the more time I spend with the scissor kick, I'm starting to like it more and more for sure. I've got more experience with the dinner bell, more confidence in the dinner bell yet. That being said, if I fish the scissor kick more, I'd probably get more experience and start to like it more as well. When has the next fish with Clayton? Where? Right now it's at Baker's Narrows. It is February, the third weekend of February and the fourth weekend of February. If you call up Baker's Narrows, they will give you all the information for the Fish with Clayton trip. Clayton, would you ever do a top 5 or top 10 fish of the day for ice fishing? Top 5? Yes. The video I have coming out tomorrow is a 1v1 with me, Adam, and Carter, and we did our top 3 walleye. So it's close. It's not a top 5, but it's top 3. There's maybe some big fish caught. Favorite Acme lure? It started to be the ice winder, and then now, I hope I have some more coming before I say this because it was so good. It's the hammered Castmaster, the 3/8 ounce and the 1/4 ounce. It's so good. Like, I crush on it in some videos coming up. Like, crush. It's probably one of my, like, right now, it's one of my, like, confident baits. It's so good. The hammered Castmaster. Yeah, wait. So good. I hope I have some more. I messaged Acme and said, I need a couple of them. They're sold out? No. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, they're so good. I'll have to get some from a store somewhere. Fish with Clayton. This is the first I've heard of it. Yes, I need to make a video announcement with it, and I will in my winter camping video that I'm filming on either Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure when I'm going yet, but thanks for making the best fishing content on the tube and giving the awesome community a place to chat. You're so welcome, but more importantly, thank you for watching. Acme stock is depleted. Whoops. It's probably because we use it. Lou's pulled pork boil in a bag available at Walmart. Really? Clavers J Ice, make it happen. We need to do something like that. I'd like to do it on the same lake if we ever can do it. Maybe like Lake Winnipeg or something like that. Pulled pork boil in a bag available at Walmart. I'll have to look that up. Cindy, write that down. Secretary. She's joking. She's not my secretary. Cheers to you, Evan. I love pulled pork too, so that's right up my alley. Cheers. Whew. Favorite, all I can think of every time I take a shot of Fireball now, I think of Sam going, Sand, dirt, rocks. Do a fireball. Clavers J Ice Edition and the Yetis. Yes, I agree. Most underrated fish. Um, I feel like a pike is so underrated. I feel like nobody open water pike fishes. Yeah, that's like one of the most like fun species that I've fished for open water. How long does it take to set up everything you bring on the ice? Um, at the most an hour, I'd say. Winter camping maybe a little bit longer, but I can have it. Or now, if I have everything dialed in with the shack and stuff, it's like 45 minutes. I can be fishing usually. If we're not fishing in a shack, I can have everything set up going within 10-15 minutes. No game of inches this year. Would like to bring it back at some point for sure, though. It was definitely a lot of fun. The moment in the chat where everyone tried to order a Castmaster Hammer 3/8 and they're sold out. That is funny. The video coming out tomorrow is unreal. As a member, you get to see it a few days early, and all I can say is there's some big walleye. Yes, there is. There is some big walleye caught. Could do a fan game of inches. That'd be good. Did you pull the skidoo out yet? Nope, not yet. There's no snow here. I'll be using a side-by-side in my next winter camping trip. Game of inches won't happen. Saskatchewan boys ruled. Yes, Saskatchewan boys took her down. Tell me what bait I'm using for my first ice walleye season. Either a 3/16 ounce dinner bell or a 3/8 ounce Castmaster, or better yet, one of each. And you got like gold, and I'd say use like the gold during the day, and then use your Insanity pepper during your low light conditions and glow it up a little bit. Deadly video for you guys. Gonna watch it tomorrow. Clean up lakes. I took 7 little pike from my lake tonight for pickling. We're in the zone. You can keep 10 within the slot. Little pike here have taken over. Really interesting. Best deep water lure for Lakers, 2-ounce tube jig. The Middleman from Send It Outdoors. That's probably my favorite right now. Is the Middleman. I like the Big Mama, but the Middleman is the tube right now. I feel like. Do you white tube? How are you enjoying the Icehold Power Glow Cup? It's so good. How have you guys never told me about using a glow lure before? I'm so addicted now to fishing like the dusk hours or early morning. I'm so addicted to glowing my lure up before I fish. I've even been switching from baits that don't glow to my low light conditions using baits that glow. And like I like the big glow cup because I can have it sitting there and with all my battery equipment, and it's hooks up to my Dakota battery and it's there all the time. You just dip it in and put it out. It's so good. This is on you guys for not telling me about glow cups before. Like, can't believe this. It's so good though. Like honestly, and it's like they told me it was newer this year. It's for bigger baits for Laker fish whenever, and it's big. And I like that it's big because I don't have to like get my big bait into a little hole. I can get my bait into a big hole. It's great. Glowing lures is next level. Totally works. I agree. I'm gonna say it's been Glow crushes Burbot at night. Yes. What's your favorite ice shack for ice camping? The only ice camping I've done in so far has always been the Otter Monster Lodge. First, I used the Otter Monster Lodge that had the no full door, the older style, and then with the full door, it was definitely way better. And this year, I'm actually going to be running the 850 from Eskimo, the 850 XD. And it's a little bit smaller than the Monster Lodge by, I think it's like 9 square feet or something like that, which I thought was going to be a big deal. I remember even texting Jay and I'm like, am I going to be upset about this? So I actually went into the garage, set up my winter camping setup, and I actually found a better way to set it up. I'm so excited to do a video with it. I have when you get like a renovation in a house and you're like, oh, look at my new renovation. This is amazing. I have a new style winter camping setup now. I'm gonna have an open concept now. So much more room for activities. It's so good. Would you ever do Saskatchewan game of inches? Yeah, it'd be fun just to do it just in Saskatchewan. Yeah. We should actually talk DB about doing something because DB's got a fishing channel that's getting some traction, and maybe like Carter and I could do something against you and Brandon or something like that, even for like a weekend game of inches thing, right? Where we like go to 5 different species or something. We should chat. We should do something possibly. It'd be fun. Yeah. Got my wheels turning. I weigh 350 and want to get into ice fishing. Any tips you can give me? You're perfectly fine. Like the ice is going to be strong enough for sure. The biggest thing I want to say, you want to get into it, is go with somebody first and learn about what you need and see if you like it. Before you spend all the money on ice fishing, make sure you like it. So go with somebody and see if you like it. That'd be my biggest thing. Just see if you like it first. Try to find a friend that ice fishes and go with them. I had the Eskimo 941 Ice 6, which was 109 square feet. It was too big, too heavy, too hard to heat. Downsides this year. I think if I wasn't doing like so much filming and stuff, I wouldn't use the big shack, the 850. I would use the 650 or even possibly the 450 too. Like if I was just fishing by myself, like you can put a cot in there. It's perfect. It's perfect. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this one up. We're going to have a members only chat for a little bit. So thank you to everybody. We'll try to do this again. We've been doing these so far once a week, I think, since ice fishing kind of started, and we'll keep going with them. I think, when's Christmas? Tuesday? Monday? So probably I want to get a video out on Christmas Day. So maybe we'll do one on like the 26th or 27th, something like that. So cheers to everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it as always. And yeah, new video coming out tomorrow, probably around that 4 o'clock-ish, I would think, for everybody. So members can already see it now. But anyways, cheers to everybody. You guys rock. Cheers.